excellent. That was excellent because remember, it goes with the PECs. At that level, I used to travel with Thabang when Thabang would go to Africa for bilateral talks. And then I'll join with other CEOs of other companies who will join him. For instance, we'll go to Algeria, we'll go to Uganda, we'll go to Kenya. And it was nice. I really enjoyed that.
Guys, let's get some energy. Peace to the gods and peace to the earth. Welcome to another episode of the Eastrand Podcast Files, and thank you very much for joining us. My name is DoubleM, and today on the show we are joined by a trailblazer of note by the name of Dr. R Ndala, who is a highly experienced human resources practitioner, an executive and team coach, a professional facilitator of leadership development, and a motivational and an inspirational leader amongst the many hats that he wears. R Ndala, welcome to the Eastrand Podcast Files, and thank you for joining us today. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much, Mbani. I'm feeling excited about this occasion today.
Yes. R Ndala, for the viewer ongakwazi, who is Dr. R Ndala?
I am just a simple Kasi boy,
Yes.
who grew up on the farms and then ended up in the townships, especially township of Tembisa. That's where I developed myself in many areas. For instance, when I came to Tembisa, I came as a teacher by profession. Originally, I'm from Pretoria, and then I taught in Tembisa for a number of years. And then from there, I started moving to the businesses because I realized that there's a lot happening in businesses. Then I said, let me just go and try my luck in business. And I ended up doing very, very well in the business world.
Oh, okay. So you say you were born in Pretoria before you went to Tembisa?
Yes.
And where in Pretoria?
In Soshanguve.
Sosha.
Yeah, in Soshanguve. But before Soshanguve, in that area, before Soshanguve became what it is today.
Yes.
So Soshanguve was built. I was already in that area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I just moved there, and then I even got married in Tembisa. After we got married, then we bought a house in Soshanguve. That was our first house that we bought in Soshanguve.
Okay.
Yes.
And growing up in Soshanguve as a young boy, how was your upbringing? Do you have siblings? Wakhula kanjani ekhaya?
Oh yeah, I'm from a big family.
Okay.
I'm from a family of 9 boys, 1 girl.
Wow,
And
9 boys, 1 girl.
And I'm the third in the family.
Okay.
And we grew up very well. I mean, our parents took good care of us. We went all to primary school. We went to high school, and the rest is history.
Oh yes, yes. Now, growing up in the apartheid era, R Ndala, what were your dreams and aspirations, and how did you cope during those dark days in the country?
Those were very, very difficult days because, needless to say, that I had no dreams because of the way we were brought up under apartheid regime, where we didn't see ourselves growing and then having life our way because it was all in the hands of the white guys. They decided where to stay, where to live, and even where to work. We had what we call Section 10, which prescribed where you can work, where you cannot work. So that's how our life was characterized by.
And you was it still the same even when you moved to Tembisa or Lapo Bosumdala Masoye Tembisa?
When I moved to Tembisa, it was still during apartheid. Yes, because I remember when I got to Tembisa, I lived with my aunt in Tembisa, and being a qualified teacher, professional teacher, fresh from college. And then I found myself teaching in Tembisa under apartheid years.
When you say you never had dreams and aspirations, what propelled you to become a teacher?
It's a very, very good question. I think when I was at primary school, I had a principal who modeled good teaching for me. The way he dressed, the way he talked, and the way he handled himself. Then I looked at this man, I said, gosh, I want to be like that man. Because during those years, a teacher was always wearing a suit, long sleeve shirts, and a tie. So I just wanted to be like him. Yes. Yes.
So that propelled, that inspired you to become a teacher.
It did.
And what steps did you take? What did you have to do?
And just when I finished my secondary school in Tembisa, then I applied to Hebron Training College in Hebron, that side of Pretoria.
Okay.
It was a boarding school.
Okay.
Then I packed my trunks, packed my bags and everything, got into a bus, and then I just journeyed there. Got there, found a lot of guys at the boarding school is a hostel. Guys stayed alone and girls stayed on the other side. Yeah, life started there. It was a different life, but very good life.
And how were your early days as a school teacher? What qala ukufundisa?
Very, very interesting because I became a principal right from college. From college, I started by being a principal. I became a principal of a mine school, which I spent only 2 years on that mine, and then I moved to Tembisa. Most of my career, my teaching career was in Tembisa. And because I was so young and so energetic, what happened was I took music, I took sports, I ran that for the school. And when I came to Tembisa, the school where I was teaching had no trophy. But in 2 years, I had 8 trophies in it.
Wow.
Through music and through sports.
Wow.
Yes.
So were you very strict, or were you very inspirational to the kids?
I think I was very, very inspirational because I had passion for sports. I loved it. Even at college, I was playing sports. So when I got out of college, I decided, no, I've got to make sure that the school that I'm going to teach at, they get into sports and into music. Because during our time at training college, we had a guy by Murukulu Choi who was known in music. He used to sweep trophies wherever he went. So I learned from him what music is all about. And he was my class teacher for music.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, very, very interesting. And I believe in the early 1980s, you started to become a human resources consultant.
Yes, that's very true. What happened, I was in teaching, but I realized that, gosh, teaching is not paying well. I wanted money. So I joined the industrial hub. My first job was a training officer at a brick manufacturing company. So I got there because, as you can see, teaching and training more or less the same.
Oh, yes.
Then I started I equipped myself with the courses that I needed to train. Then I started training. And yes, I went from there, then I built my career in training until at a very, very high level where I was training.
So for how long did you last as being a principal before Zoya into training?
Principal, I didn't last long as a principal. I stayed only for 6 years. And then after 6 years, then that's when I went to the industry.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So now, Guleo training, Leo, what people did you train? Did you train teachers, workers, or just ordinary people?
No, I was training management staff, the supervisors.
Okay.
Yeah. Company will remember levels of management, the senior management, the middle management, which are supervisors, and the rank and file. So I came with the idea. In fact, I proposed this to management. I said, if we train the middle management, then because there are a buffer between senior management and the employees, let's equip those people in the middle, then productivity will improve. And indeed, that's what happened.
And for how long did you do that?
Oh, that I did for many, I'm sure for more than 15 years. I was in that space for more than 15 years. Yeah. And then because as you develop, as you grow, as I was equipping myself, studying further, and then bigger positions became available, then I delved into those bigger positions.
Wow. So you seized every opportunity that came your way.
That's the name of the game, Mbandi. Don't be complacent as an employee. You know, always when you see an opportunity, grab it and develop yourself. Never stop learning. That's what I've learned very early. Never stop learning, because the ladder goes high. If you allow yourself to climb that ladder step by step, you're going to end up right at the top.
Very inspirational. Wow. Now, tell us about the period between 2001 and 2004 on being a managing director for the South African Quality Institute, I believe under the D.T.I department.
That was very interesting because it was during Thabo Mbeki's tenure as president. Thabo Mbeki was on record saying that he wants all the black professionals in the private sector to come to government. Then it was that time when I applied and some of my colleagues applied to government. I got this position as the CEO of the South African Quality Institute under Department of Trade and Industry. Yes.
And how was the experience there?
Excellent.
Being the managing director.
Excellent. That was excellent because remember, it goes with the PECs. At that level, I used to travel with Thabo Mbeki when Thabo Mbeki would go to Africa for bilateral talks. And then I'll join with other CEOs of other companies. We'll join him. For instance, we'll go to Algeria, we'll go to Uganda, we'll go to Kenya. And it was nice. I really enjoyed that.
How is it being in the presence of Utata ofana no Thabo Mbeki? Just nje ukuba ku presence yakhe nje.
You know, people like Thabo Mbeki don't intimidate you when you're with them. They just behave like ordinary people, which is good, and they make you feel at home when you're with them, so that you can just do your job and just respect them as presidents. But nothing that will say to you, hey, be careful, this is president. Not with Thabo Mbeki. I didn't see that.
And you went to places like Algeria.
Yes, went to Algeria, and I went to Uganda, and I went to Kenya, and so on and so on. And well, each and every place where I went to, it's got a story, of course. It's a story for another day, but there are stories.
All right, yeah. But I'm more interested to find out, Uguti, when you were traveling with Tata Mbeki, what were your core duties? Manfiga, maybe Algeria, Kwena, as the MD of under the D.T.I department.
Very interesting question. You know, the reason of us accompanying the president was so that, you know, South Africa is seen as a developed country. So we're going there so that as we form binationals, we can work with the government of that country.
Okay.
For instance, because I was responsible for quality, and then the department in Algeria that deals with, the minister that deals with quality will liaise with me. Then I will transfer the skills that I have from South Africa to him. Yes.
Very interesting. So you would share naye uzokusherela kwakhe nawe umsherelo kwakho.
Yes, but mainly it was for them to learn from us, like I said, because
we
we're
were
more
developing country. Okay, wow. And I believe at some stage, R Ndala, you went to the United States of America to further your studies.
Yes, definitely. I did. When I went to America, because all along I did not have an MBA. I only had the junior degree. But then I wanted to study for an MBA degree. Then I got an opportunity to go to Los Angeles in California, University of California in Los Angeles.
What year was that?
This was in 1987, 88. I spent 2 years there. Yes, that's where I did my MBA. Then I came back. Then I continued working in South Africa.
But how was the experience of being in the US during those days?
During those days, it was tough. I'm not lying to you. It was tough in the sense that you are made to feel that you are a human being in a foreign country. Yet in your own country, you are not taken very that serious. So as a result, people used to say to me in America, you're going to have a problem when you go back home. I did not understand. I realized when I came back that they were right, because what happened is you go to America, you learn new things, you change. When you come back, you've changed, but the country has not changed. So you are back to square one. That was very difficult for me to adjust.
And to add, Ndala, on the position that you have, Gugu Chamber, I read also on the article, Uguti, you also mentioned Uguti, this chamber is one of the best chambers around the country nationally.
Yeah, let's start in Ekurhuleni as a whole. In Ekurhuleni, we are the only active chamber. There are other chambers. Camden Park has got a chamber, Edenville has got a chamber, and so on and many other places. But if you look at starting Ekurhuleni, we are the most active chambers. And if you go in Gauteng as a whole, we are the most active chambers. And if you go countrywide, we are the most recognized chamber because we are active, because we hold our meetings monthly and the attendance is very good.
And that's why business is bazofonela when they are not shared.
Yes. And I must mention something. The beauty, what we did, we have incorporated the councillors. We've got an ANC councillor in the chamber, we've got a DA councillor in the chamber, which is beautiful. Those guys are on top of the game. They know what's happening. And then they just put feathers on the whole chamber. And I'm sure we are the only chamber with councillors on board.
And do they see eye to eye?
Yeah, and they work beautifully. You don't see the discrimination between them.
Beautiful. Wow. Ndala, I believe you are also an author. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, yes. Sometimes you've got a talent that is lying dormant, you're not aware. If it were not because of the lockdown in 2020,
yes,
maybe I wouldn't have written the books. So when the president announced that there's lockdown, then I asked myself, what am I going to do with my time? Because nobody knew how long will COVID last. Then I said, I've been wanting to write books. Then I sat down, I started writing books. I'm telling you, I started in March with my first book, where by September the book was written. And then I got inspired to write the second book. And then 2021, I ended up, by the end of 2021, I had two books. The first book was on leadership development. The second book was on marriage.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Wow, beautiful. Wow, very inspirational. And what are the titles of the books?
The book on leadership, it's transforming your workplace through sound leadership. Just to say something about that. The biggest problem in the industry is the workplace. The intervention at the workplace, it's not what it's supposed to be. Because you've got people working on the shop floor, you've got management. If that management or those leaders are not skilled on how to manage or how to lead those people, they are going to end up saying that, but these people don't want to work. But that's why I say transform your workplace. Let there be more participation. Don't say, I'm the boss, I say this. Ask the people. I always say, don't tell the people, ask them, because a person who does the job knows better what to do. So in the one on marriage I looked at marriages, especially for young people today. Marriages collapsed all the way. Every time the marriage starts, they stop. They start, they stop. So I've written a simple book that is based on God's principles about marriage.
God's principles about marriage.
Yes.
And do you also counsel abantu abashadile?
Yeah, I cancel what we call premarital. Yes, even though I cancel married people, but I like it when I get you before you get married. Then you know what you're getting in.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It may be too late when you're already in there.
Oh, yes.
But if I get you before you get it, it's similar and it makes more sense. For instance, I remember I met a couple during my counseling session. A woman said, I'm getting married, but I don't want children. The man was hearing this for the very first time.
Before they went in.
Exactly. Now, you see, now it was difficult to convince the woman because she had her own reasons why she doesn't want children. She wants marriage, but she doesn't want. And the man is the opposite. So yeah, can be very, very dicey.
And besides instances, did you also have some instances whereby you would pre-cancel people and be like,
There was only one incident I remember very, very well. It was also before they got married. And then when the rubber hits the road now, everybody sees reality. Now they realize, no, you're not meant for me, I'm not meant for you. Let's be friends. And then let's separate. And they say, it doesn't, which is a good thing, you know. Why get into the thing that it won't last? Yeah.
Yazi ungenza ukuthi ngibuze nale question ukuthi I once heard someone ati marriage is not the big beautiful day where you are wearing the suit and she's wearing the white dress, but akusuwona umshado lo. Ti umshado, it's when now, like you said, when the rubber hits the road.
Yes, umshado and mbandi is work. I don't care how long have you been married, you don't stop working. I've been married now for many years, close to 50 years, but I'm still working on my marriage. And my wife is still working on me, I'm still working on her. You don't reach a level where you say, now I know what marriage is all about, because every day is different. Because why? You are human beings. There are dynamics that come in, that challenges you in marriage. And then if you are not very careful, I'm not surprised that we've seen people divorcing at a very, very late age.
Yes.
People are surprised.
Oh, yes.
But why?
Yes, and this is Buza Bamdala. Why?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So it's work. Don't stop working. Don't stop. When God created a man, Adam, God created the work for them. You don't stop working. It's a non-stop work.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And do you have a nickname, Bamdala? Una nickname, during your days.
The nickname, because I played soccer, I was known as Chili's.
Chili's.
You know, there's a place in Pretoria where they still know me as Chili's. You know, I'm not lying. You'll be surprised. There are people today who don't know my real name. Yeah. They can, for instance, last Saturday I was in Pretoria. I mean, guys saw me parked at my brother's place. Oh, Brachilis, they're greeting me. Oh, Brachilis. They know me, I'm Brachilis. If you ask them what is that guy's real name, Abangas.
And they've since Balbamba from back in the day.
And give me so that is Bangas.
Also get a Polway. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you get to unwind, Babndala, when you're not busy? How do you get to relax?
With me, it's very simple. Look at my gardening.
Oh, you have a beautiful garden, by the way.
That's where I spend my time. I unwind. The pool keeps me busy. I've got to keep. Otherwise, if I leave this pool for more than a week, then it's going to be something else. My yard, you see, I've got a big yard. I've got to keep busy all the time.
And food.
Yeah. And not only that, I walk. Not only that, I go to the gym. Because it's important to unwind and keep fit. Remember, during coaching, we talked about vitality.
Yes.
It's part of vitality. Yes.
And how often do you take walks? How often do you go to the gym?
I go to the gym Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, 3 times a week. And I will walk once a week, maybe every Tuesday or every Thursday. I just decided this morning I want to walk. Then I will take my route, walk, come back. Depending on my schedule for the day, then attend to my schedule.
Oh, yes. Wow. Now, Babndala, do you have any words of encouragement for anyone watching especially those who might feel overwhelmed by their adversities? Anyone ubukele manje?
Yeah, I think the first thing that, especially the young people, what I can say to them is don't compete. Don't compete with anybody. You are unique. You are not that person. If you see somebody succeeding, congratulate him. Go to him and say, brother, sister, well done, keep it up. Because we are not gifted the same. Look for your passion and stick with your passion. Don't copy other people's passions because you are not going to last. It's not your passion. Because a passion is something that's built in. It's in you. It cannot get out. So look for it, grab it, and run with it.
Wow. And can you describe yourself in 3 words for us? If you would describe yourself in 3 words.
I look at my life and say, my life, I am somebody who adds value to other people. Now, whenever I meet somebody, I make sure that I add value. I leave him different from where I found him. I add value into that person, showing him that he's important, he's got value on this earth, it's not a mistake. Because there are people who look at themselves and say, yeah, but I'm not like so-and-so, I'm a failure. No. Nobody is a failure. If somebody says I'm a failure, what do you mean is God made a failure. God did not make a failure. It's the perception that other people have about you or you have about yourself.
Wow. R Ndala, thank you so much for joining us today. And you are an inspiration, especially to me, to a lot of people that I know. And I'm sure to people who are watching right now, they will feel inspired because here on the Eastrand Podcast Files, we get to talk with all people of different ages. And we feel very honored to talk to you today as someone who has walked this road way before many of us were even born. And may the grace of God continue to be by your side, to shine upon you, keep you safe and sane for us. And may you continue to shine your light to the world. We need more people like you, R Ndala. You are a perfect, good example. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Wadi. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your team as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, R Ndala.
Sure.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. R Ndala, an inspirational man, a man of many talents. And we hope that this interview will inspire a whole lot of people who feel overwhelmed by their different adversities in life. And thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget to subscribe on our channel, drop us a comment, and hit us up on all our social media platforms. And from myself and the rest of the team, it's a big thank you for watching, and see you on the next episode. Cheers, bye.